The new AI, ChatGPT, has taken the world by storm, but can it play Rise of Kingdoms? Well, in this video, we're going to find out together, so stick around. What's up, everybody? Psycho here in the Rise of Kingdoms video. You've probably heard of ChatGPT by now. Pretty much everybody has. It's this new artificial intelligence that you can ask lots of questions and it gives lots of answers, and it can do all kinds of things that are conversational. But I started wondering earlier today, what would this tell us about Rise of Kingdoms? Or could it give us good advice about Rise of Kingdoms? Look, there's a lot of content creators out there. There's a lot of advice on the internet about Rise of Kingdoms. What does ChatGPT actually have to say? And I'm going to give you a warning in advance. I haven't even tried this at all yet. So this is a total exploration. I'm going to be seeing what happens in real time with ChatGPT along with you here, along with this recording. So I have no idea what it's going to show us. But the first thing we have to do is jump over to ChatGPT. So I'm going to do that right now. And there we are. Here we are in the ChatGPT screen. And I'm going to type some questions in here that we might ask a Rise of Kingdoms, or that I get asked frequently, or that other content creators get asked quite a bit. And we're going to see what ChatGPT has to say about this. So the first thing I think we should type in is this constant question about starting civilization. So let's try this. In the mobile game, and I'm going to have to probably give it this context every time, Rise of Kingdoms, what is the best, typing skills, the best starting civilization? Let's see what ChatGPT has to say about this. Okay, this is what I was afraid of, that ChatGPT would sort of give kind of some waffly kind of answer. But okay, let's see what it says here. Okay, interesting. So it suggests Rome. Unique building, the Colosseum. That's not accurate. Okay, Germany. And Britain. Okay, that's interesting as well. Okay. So I wonder where it's pulling this. Oh, wow, it's going to give us even more. It goes down to China. Okay. How much longer will it go? I don't know. Okay, so there we go. It's giving us 4 recommendations. So we'll read through this together. All right, so first it says, choosing the best starting civilization in Rise of Kingdoms can be subjective and depends on your personal playstyle and the goals you want to achieve in the game. However, there are a few civilizations that are generally considered strong choices for beginners due to their versatile and well-rounded abilities. And so it says Rome is a popular choice for new players because it has a strong early game economy and well-rounded set of bonuses that can help players develop their cities quickly. I don't think that's actually true, although it does have, I think, gathering speed for food, so I guess that's not so terrible. It says a unique building, the Colosseum, not accurate. Provides a boost to resource production, again, not accurate. But I think it does actually help you gather resources more efficiently, Rome as a civilization. Germany is a powerful choice for players who want to focus on military might. The unique unit, the Teutonic Knight, is one of the strongest in the game. Sort of. It's probably not the best unit, but it's not a bad special unit to help players dominate in battles. It also has bonuses that help players gather resources more efficiently and build cities faster. Not true, right? Germany has a training speed bonus, and Germany also has an AP bonus. Britain is a good choice for players who want to focus on archery and range combat. That is true. Britain's unique unit, the longbowman, is a powerful archer that can deal massive damage from a distance. Okay, well, range combat is coming into Rise of Kingdoms, but it's not quite this way. But the longbowmen do quite a bit of damage, and it is a pretty strong special unit. Britain also has bonuses that increase archery damage. I think that is true, and can help players defend their cities more effectively. Is Britain the civilization that actually lets you have more capacity? I'm not sure if it does. Maybe it's the one that there is one civilization that actually lets you have more capacity in your city, right? So that you can actually defend your city more, like other people can join your city. I don't know if it's Britain, but anyway, interesting. All right, China is a versatile choice that can be useful in a variety of playstyles. China's unique unit, the Chokunu, don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, is a powerful crossbowman that can deal damage to multiple enemies at once. Not true. China also has bonuses that can help players gather resources more efficiently, train troops faster, and increase the healing speed of their wounded soldiers. Unfortunately, a lot of that is not true. A lot of people go for China because it has a building speed bonus. Ultimately, the best starting civilization, Rise of Kingdoms, will depend on your individual preferences and playstyle. It's worth experimenting with different civilizations to find one that works best for you. Sort of true on that last point, but I think most people recommend for a starting civilization that you go with Britain, so that you can get Boudica. People might also recommend you go with China as a starting civilization as well, so that you get that building speed bonus. So it does seem to have some useful recommendations, but not really for the right reasons. Okay, so that's question number 1. So let's go to question number 2. In the mobile game Rise of Kingdoms, who is the best commander? Let's ask this question. I don't know. This feels very vague and broad, and it may not actually come up with a good answer for us here. Okay, here we go. It's writing. Okay, again, subjective, playstyle, blah, blah, blah. Okay, very interesting. The very first one, it says YSG, suggesting, and again, a lot of people would say this is the number 1 commander. Interesting. Number 2, Attila. Says Attila's a versatile cavalry commander that can be used for attacking and defending. His active skill, Whirlwind, I actually don't know what the names of the active skills for all these commanders are. Can hit multiple targets. Definitely not true. And cause massive damage. That is true. Attila does do a lot of damage. Several talents that increase cavalry attack and defense. That's also true. He's a cavalry commander. It suggests Tamiris is number 3. Very interesting. I don't know if her active skill is called 2 arms, but that's kind of interesting. Can deal damage to target and reduce their rage. Not true with Tamiris, making it more difficult for them to use their skills. Again, that's not one of Tamiris' skills. Saladin is number 4, versatile commander, can be used for attacking, defending, and rallying. That is kind of true, especially in the early game. His active skill, Conqueror, I don't think that's the name of his active skill, but maybe it is. Can deal massive damage to a single target and reduce their defense. It doesn't actually reduce their defense, it reduces their healing. Is also effective at gathering resources. Actually not true, and in fact, Saladin, if you're raiding cities, actually you don't get resources back. You actually can't get resources. You can't plunder resources from cities with Saladin, so I wouldn't say that. Ramses II is a strong infantry commander. Wow, it's way off here. Ramses is actually an archer commander, or not an infantry commander. Active skill, Tempest of the Nile, can hit multiple targets. Not true with Ramses. He's single target. And deal damage over time. I think he does deal damage over time. Several talents that can increase infantry attack. Again, not true, but it is true for archers. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, let me give a follow-up to that. In the mobile game Rise of Kingdoms, which commander should I expertise first? Let's see what it recommends here. So that's actually not a bad answer to that one. It gave us YSG as the first one, but some of the other ones a little suspect, a little questionable. Okay, so here we go. The same kind of waffly, kind of depends. It kind of depends. Okay, that's all true, but let's see what it says. Here are some of the recommended candidates for expertising first in Rise of Kingdoms. Okay, interesting. So it goes with the epic commander, Sun Tzu. I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about legendary commanders, but it says Sun Tzu is an excellent, and that I think that is a good point. That's actually really true. So Sun Tzu, it recommends as number 1. YSG is number 2. I think a lot of people would say YSG is an excellent commander to expertise right away. Now it's going to Attila, number 3, and back to Tamiris. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. Her expert skill can significantly reduce the damage. Again, that's wrong. But okay, so Sun Tzu, YSG, pretty good. Probably not such great recommendations. I don't think a lot of people would say you want to expertise Attila and Tamiris first in Rise of Kingdoms. Okay, so let's go to question number 3. Here's another common question that the content creators or people ask themselves a lot in Rise of Kingdoms. In the mobile game Rise of Kingdoms, should I focus on leveling my castle to 25 or VIP 14 first? Let me put a space between this and see what happens. I don't know how it's going to react to this. But this is a common question we get all the time. Should you level up your castle first or reach VIP level 14? Okay, it says these are both important milestones that can greatly enhance your gameplay experience. However, the order in which you focus on these milestones depends on your specific goals and priorities. Here are some factors to consider when deciding whether to focus on your Castle 25 or VIP level 14. Troop tiers. One of the major benefits of leveling your Castle 25 is that it allows you to unlock higher tier troops, which are stronger and more effective in battles. If your primary focus is on building a powerful army, then it may be more beneficial to prioritize leveling your castle up to 25. This is true because to get tier 5 troops, you need to get your castle to level 25. 2, resource production. A higher level castle also allows you to upgrade your resource generating buildings. Well, I'm not sure if that's actually true if you have to get the castle up before the resource buildings, but either way, to unlock those tier 5 troops, you do have to level up all of those buildings. And so this is somewhat true, at least if not completely true, that in fact you will increase your resource production in your resource buildings by by focusing on your castle up to level 25. VIP perks. Reaching VIP level 14 provides access to a number of valuable perks such as reduced healing time for injured troops, increasing building and research speeds, and more. If you're primarily interested in improving your gameplay experience overall, then reaching VIP level 14 may be a higher priority. That's interesting that it's sort of focused on not what most people focus on when they think about VIP 14. Then they think about VIP 14, they think about those gold heads, unless I'm totally misremembering, but I thought VIP 14 was the one where you got 3 gold heads. But maybe it's only 2. But in any case, VIP 14 is typically a target. I thought it was because you get 3 gold heads per day, but it doesn't mention that here. So number 4, time and resources. Keep in mind that leveling up your castle 25 and reaching VIP 14 both require significant amounts of time and resources. That is true. Depending on your current level and progress, one milestone may be easier or more difficult to achieve than another. This is actually not terrible advice. I'm going to go ahead and give this a B plus advice for Castle level 25 or VIP 14 first. Very, very interesting from ChatGPT here. Now we're going to ask it this question here that we get a lot in the mobile game Rise of Kingdoms. Which, how do I say this? Do I want to say which stat? Let me do it this way. Attack, defense, or health is most important. Let's see what it has to say here. All 3 stats, attack, defense, and health, are important for your troops and commanders to have, and it's generally best to have a balance of all 3. That's true. However, the importance of each stat can depend on the situation or specific strategy. Okay, so it's going to give a brief overview of each stat. That determines how much damage your troops and commanders deal to enemy troops and structures. This is important for winning battles and taking down the enemy forces quickly. Defense determines how well your troops and commanders can resist enemy attacks and incoming damage. That's true. It's important for defending. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Health determines how many hit points your troops and commanders have and how much damage they can withstand before being defeated. This is important for keeping your troops alive and being able to sustain attacks. In general, having a balance of all 3 stats is important as each one plays a critical role in battles. However, the importance of each stat can depend on the specific situation, blah, blah, blah. If you're attacking enemy city, having high attack and defense stats may be more important than having high health. That's garbage. As you want to be able to deal damage quickly and withstand enemy attacks. That's just made up. On the other hand, if you're defending your city, having high health and defense may be more important. Okay, so that's made up. That has nothing to do with the battle formula. It's interesting. I thought it might suggest, because there's a lot of content out there about health being the most important stat, I thought it might suggest that, but it really says balance. You really need to have a balance, which is not terrible advice. I think most people would say you want to prioritize health because getting health stats, as we've seen in other videos, is one of the getting health bonuses is one of the most difficult, and getting that balance is important to achieve, particularly between health and defense, and it's often harder to get health points. Okay, let's go to another question that we see quite a bit in Rise of Kingdoms. In the mobile game Rise of Kingdoms, is the Commander Leonidas a good investment? Now, I'm sure it's going to give us something about, maybe it's kind of okay. Leonidas' legendary commander is known for strong leadership and combat abilities. Whether or not he's a good investment for you will depend on your specific goals and strategies. Okay. Leonidas' leadership skills, Spartan Chant. I think that may actually be the name of his skill. Increases attack and defense of nearby troops and reduces their damage taken. That's not true. Makes him a strong commander for battles, particularly if you are leading an infantry-focused army. That is true. Combat skills. Has several combat skills that increase the damage and effectiveness of troops in battle. That is true. He does have skills that I think he increases health. Are useful for looking to build a strong army for attacking and defending. Synergy with other commanders. Leonidas has a good synergy with several other commanders of the game, such as Sun Tzu and Belisarius. That is not good advice. I would definitely not pair Leonidas with Belisarius. He's probably not the worst pair with Sun Tzu if you use Sun Tzu as a primary, but that's very strange to use Sun Tzu with Leo. Most people would say that the best pair with Leonidas, of course, is Guan Yu. That's definitely not mentioned here. But it says if you already have these commanders, you might want to invest in Leonidas. Rarity and cost, Leonidas is a legendary commander, which means that he can be difficult to obtain and upgrade. That's true. You actually get him from Mightiest Governor, which is difficult to get. You can also buy him in the daily bundle now, but a lot of people would not prioritize Leonidas in the Mightiest Governor or even the daily bundle right now. If you're a free-to-play player or have limited resources to invest in the game, it may be more practical to focus on other commanders. That is definitely true. Probably if you are free-to-play, I would not recommend investing in Leonidas at all. Okay, very interesting. I want to follow that up, though. In the mobile, I really should have copied and pasted this game. Rise of Kingdoms is Charlemagne a good commander? Let's just see what it has to say here. Did I spell Charlemagne correctly? Oh, it wants me to capitalize. Okay. Now we'll check this one out. Now, most people think Charlemagne is really not a great commander. Specializes in leading cavalry troops. That's not true. I think he's leadership. Whether or not he's a good commander depends on your specific strategy and goals. Yeah, okay. So he's a cavalry commander focused on leading cavalry troops. I don't think that's right. I think, isn't he leadership? I could be wrong. Several combat skills that increase the damage and effectiveness of cavalry troops. This is pretty boilerplate kind of stuff. Not really good answers. Okay, it sounds pretty similar to what it says with Leonidas. It's reversed points number 3 and number 4 here. It does say it pairs well with Pelagius and Belisarius, which again, I would not really recommend. So when it comes to specific commanders, I think it really doesn't have very, very, very good advice here. Okay. Let's jump to, and as we sort of, maybe get to the end here, let's jump to some other kind of questions that I'm sort of interested in here. Who is the best content creator for the mobile game Rise of Kingdoms? Let's see what ChatGPT has to say here. There are many content creators who produce helpful and entertaining content related to the mobile game Rise of Kingdoms. Look at that, Chisgul Gaming, our very own Chisgul from Kingdom 254, listed as number 1. Legend Roni, who has recently, I think, retired from making Rise of Kingdoms content. Shinji, okay, so this is actually doing pretty good. It's really picking up the people who I think are the most popular Rise of Kingdoms content creators. I don't know the Rock Live at all, but it says a community-driven YouTube channel. So that one I don't know much about. There's Drago, listed as number 5. So that's really, I think, pretty impressive that it comes up with a list of I think, in my view, probably the most popular Rise of Kingdoms content creators that have been around over a number of years. I should say one other thing here about ChatGPT that maybe a lot of people don't know. I think we can maybe ask it here. When were you born? I don't know what it'll say here. And maybe it'll just say, I'm an artificial intelligence, so I wasn't born. Okay, great. First introduced in June 2020, been continuous learning and improving since then. Okay. Let's see, what is the date of your learning database or something like that? I know that the original content, original information had a certain training data. Okay, here we go. However, my knowledge cutoff date is September 20 of 2021. So, we're looking at maybe a year and a half or so out of date at the time of this recording. So maybe some of the information that it's pulling from, it's coming from some older stuff. So it may actually, change as time goes on if they add more training data. But for right now, we know it's based on training data prior to 2021. You can actually do things with ChatGPT. I've played with it in other ways. Ask it about more recent events. Of course, it has no idea because, again, the training cutoff date was September of 2021. All right, well, I think that's enough fun from ChatGPT. I hope you learned something. I hope it was sort of fun and entertaining to see how ChatGPT responds to some of the most common questions we get in Rise of Kingdoms. Overall, I think it didn't do too bad. It got some answers, I think, pretty good. It actually hit on some nice pieces of information and useful information, but I think I would still rely on today's content creators for the latest and best and most informative information in Rise of Kingdoms, and I wouldn't really go to ChatGPT looking for the most accurate and up-to-date answers. Look, if you like this video, if you enjoyed this sort of content, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for coming by, everybody, and I will see you in the next one.